Recently, I went down to Arizona to meet my friend William Douglas and take part in an event that he created called Meet Your Maker. William is a phenomenal woodworker and just opened up a woodworking school in Phoenix, and it was really exciting. I got to go down there. He had an open house, about 100 people came out, and I got to give a talk. And that really got me thinking about woodworking and about crafting and making things. And one of the benefits to the last year and a half has been that more people than ever before have entered woodworking, making things, renovating their house, and they're learning at an exponential rate. And that's been really evident in, my channel views and the engagement from my audience. And so I wanted to talk about making and growing the craft of woodworking. How can we do that better? I got into woodworking, furniture making, because I had a construction company for years. I've always been into making things, but I got into like hardcore furniture making at the end of 2014, and I was entranced. I saw a video by Matt Kenny that wasn't even on YouTube. It was on some, I think it was a Fine Woodworking's website or something like that. And he was making a jewelry box with dovetails. And I thought it was the coolest looking thing I'd ever seen, and that's all I wanted to do. And pretty soon after that, just a few months later, I had created the dovetail jig. And sort of my career exponentially went up from there. But one of the things that got me there, beyond the video I saw of Matt Kenny, beyond the information I learned online, was that I knew one person who was a woodworker. His name was Matt, and I reached out to him when I first got into it and said, hey man, I'd love to talk to you. And he invited me over to his shop. And that sort of grew into a relationship where they let me come over and hang out all the time. And I would totally abuse that privilege. And looking back on that, I realized how in the way I must have been asking all the questions I did. But I got exposed to parts of woodworking I'd never seen before. There was a gentleman there who, was like a co-op type thing. I think there was 5 people in this giant shop, this big warehouse. And one of the guys made these inlaid jewelry boxes, very, very intricate marquee patterns like dragons and Asian style. And it was just gorgeous. And I loved it. And part of why that was so important to my growth was, prior to that, I thought woodworking was just like chopping up 2x4s with a chop saw and, making Adirondack chairs, big lanky things. I didn't realize there was such an intricacy to woodworking. And so that got me excited about it. And that's what pushed me to learn more and more about woodworking. And that's how I learned about, things like dovetails and bandsaws and planers. And that, it was just unbelievable how much that accelerated my growth, being able to spend time in that area. I thank Matt and Al. Al was one of the other guys. They really nurtured my desire to learn. Part of the reason why nurturing learning and education in your craft is so important is, if you think about it, I probably wouldn't have created the dovetail jig or the stop block or those things had I not had that extra push. I feel like there's this part in the beginning where you get really excited about it, and then you realize that, tools are expensive, wood's expensive, and you sort of get discouraged because everything's hard and you mess up more than you succeed and you screw things up. And without somebody there to kind of show you and tell you it's okay, I think it's really easy to lose the excitement that you get when you're first, learning a hobby, and you get that Dunning-Kruger effect where you suddenly think you know everything and you realize you know nothing. And so I wanted to impart this lesson on you guys and say, how can we as a community grow the craft? Because if we grow the craft, here's the benefits. Innovation. The more people that get into it, the more ideas we have. Whether that's new furniture designs or tools or something else in another hobby, innovation is a result of growth. And the more minds we get into it, the better. The more people buying wood, the more demand there is, prices come down. The more innovation and ideas on how to create things better, the more prices come down. And I think that's a wonderful thing. So how can we do this? Well, one is by sharing. Invite your friends, invite your family into the shop, show them what you do. Maybe have your friends over and say, hey, you wanna make something? You could come up with like a bottle opener or something small, and just get them exposed to what it takes to make things. I think that's really a great way to do that. If somebody's just getting started and they don't have a planer, let them come over and run boards through your planer for an hour. Maybe they'll buy you some beer or something like that. Just in the last couple weeks, I had a friend of mine, she's got a 12-year-old son named Bradley. I had him and his friend come in, they brought their skateboards and we engraved their names in it. They had an absolute blast. They got to pick their font. Point being, they had a wonderful time. When I was a kid, a babysitter of mine's little brother was really into making car stereo speakers. And so when he got me into it, I was so blown away. It was the first time I'd ever seen a shop. I was enamored with it, to the point that I started making car stereo speaker boxes before I could even drive when I was 14 years old, and eventually turned it into my first business. I know that could be scary, you know, liability and things like that. So I will, for free, in the pinned comment, there will be a link to a PDF. And it's a sample. I am not your attorney. I'm not giving you legal advice, of the release of liability waiver I make people sign when they come into my shop. You can use that to write your own or get your own advice and maybe find something that works for your state. This is in California. I had my attorney draw it up, so it is pretty good in California, but it's important to remember I am not giving you legal advice. So I know that it can be scary to bring people in, but it's important to get people involved and let them see what you do and what is possible in the craft that you are passionate about. A couple weeks ago, we donated one of our lasers to a nonprofit here that's a makerspace called the Hackerspace that serves the community and gives them access to tools like woodworking, metalworking. They do computer chips, I think, way above my pay grade, but it was incredible. Our nonprofit, the Katz-Moses Woodworkers with Disability Funds, helps people with disabilities get the tools they need to be able to grow their passion and their craft, their business. You know, I think sometimes if you have disabilities, you're typically unable to work a regular job and you're on a fixed income. So this literally helps us grow the craft because we're putting tools in the hands of people that wouldn't normally have access to them. One of the reasons I was so excited to go to Arizona is woodworking schools are one of the best ways to help people really grow their skills quickly in a craft. I remember when I first got started, I went down to the William Ings School of Woodworking in Anaheim, California. It was about 2.5 hours south of me. Spent the week there. I built this beautiful bench, live edge with a cantilevered top, unbelievably beyond anything I'd ever created and well beyond my skill level at the time. But he had some great instructors, and William was walking around helping people out. It was one of the most rewarding experiences of my life. I really, really loved it, and it really helped me take my skills to a new level because I sort of saw the workflow and how people get things done. You know, a whole piece of furniture in 4 days. I mean, it was incredible how we did it. We did mostly with hand tools. So it was unbelievable how much that school changed me. William is a phenomenal designer. He makes some chairs that are beautiful. He has some of the most amazing pieces in his workshop. So I know he's a great teacher, and I think that's really important to share with the community. I went down there on my own volition. I paid for my ticket. I paid for my hotel. I just wanted to be a part of it because I know how important this community is and how important growing this community is. It was amazing. I got to sit around and talk with, 100 people all day, drink some great coffee. I really, really had a good time at that. And I'm really excited to see the video he's releasing today with me in it, as well as the series that he has coming up. I think the next one is going to be a guy who, I think it's like Whiskey Mole or something, or Whiskey Fly, or Bourbon Moth maybe. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. But he's going to be the next one, and then he's going to continue to do that series. I know he's gotten some partners involved to help grow it, and it's going to be really cool, and I highly recommend you check it out. It was a lot of fun. And I think kind of imparting the most important thing you can do above anything else, even if you don't have friends that are interested in what you do, is you need to help support people. You know, there's a lot of great subreddits on Reddit. There's beginner woodworking, there's woodworking. Go and encourage people. Don't be a gatekeeper. Everybody enjoys a craft or a hobby or passion their own way. They find their own things exciting, whether they like river tables. I know William's gonna hate that. Whether they like river tables or pocket holes or whatever they're excited about, tell them they did a good job. Give them constructive criticism on how they can improve. Help them grow as a craft person, and that's gonna be good for all of us. So I urge you, go out this weekend, show people what you do, and let's grow this hobby to become, let's make it mainstream. Woodworking and crafting in general, it's a little fringe. It's not something that is just commonplace in day to day. I only know a few woodworkers in my town. So, if we can get this to something where we can get more and more people involved, that's good for all of us. So go over to my website. You can see that sample of a waiver of liability. Check out the new tools we have over there. And guys, stay safe in the shop. Have a wonderful day.